I walked into the boardroom expecting a routine update. Maybe a quarterly review or some reshuffling talk, something annoying but survivable. What I didn't expect was silence, the kind that settles heavy in the corners. Thick, like fog, the blinds were drawn, the air conditioning was humming too loud. And there they were, Harper and Briggs, seated like they were about to read out a verdict, not have a conversation. Harper didn't look at me the way a wife should. Not even the way a colleague does. She looked through me, over me, around me. Anywhere but directly at me. Her lips were pressed into a flat line. Her hands folded with precision on a cream folder in front of her. That folder told me more than her expression ever could. Beside her, Briggs, our new department head, had the kind of nervous stiffness people wear when they know they're part of something foul. But try to smell clean. I took a seat slowly, my palms resting on the table, pretending not to notice the folder. So I said, my voice even, "What's this about?" Briggs cleared his throat, fumbled with a pen, then deferred to Harper. Of course he would. Harper's voice came out with that. Measured HR neutrality I'd heard her use with others. Never with me. Until now, your performance reports show inconsistencies. Your self-reported numbers don't match our internal tracking systems, she said, sliding the folder toward me. There's evidence suggesting you've been falsifying sales results. I looked down at the papers. Like I didn't already know what they were. Termination documents, neatly prepared. 2 signatures already there, hers and Briggs. All they needed was mine. Sign this and leave quietly, she added, not bothering to pretend this wasn't already a done deal. I didn't touch the folder, didn't flinch. I just looked at her. My wife, the woman who used to fall asleep on my shoulder during Netflix marathons. The woman who once said she admired how hard I worked, how thorough I was, how dependable. Now she wore her betrayal like designer perfume, expensive, calculated, meant for appearances. You're serious? I said, voice low, no anger, no desperation. Just a stillness I had learned to sit in. Whenever a storm was coming, Briggs finally spoke. We've discussed this at length, and, given the potential liability involved, it's best for everyone if we resolve this swiftly. Swiftly, I repeated. Is that the company's favorite word this quarter? Harper gave the smallest shrug. This isn't personal. It's procedural. We don't want to escalate. I could feel something sharp twist behind my ribs. Not pain, not betrayal. It was clarity. The kind that comes too late to stop a hit, but early enough to decide how to swing back. My fingers moved slowly, reaching into my pocket. They tensed slightly, unsure of whether to stop me. Briggs looked visibly uncomfortable. I pulled out my phone and placed it on the table. Screen. Facing up, I unlocked it with my thumb and swiped to a folder titled Q3 Sync. It had subfolders. Hundreds of them. Names, dates, screenshots. I watched Harper's eyes flick toward the screen. And that's when I saw it, her expression so carefully composed. Fractured just slightly, I smiled. Before I sign anything, I said quietly, you're going to want to see what I've been keeping track of. You see, 6 years in this company taught me a lot, but my father taught me more. He lost his business because someone altered his books. I never forgot that. I opened the first folder. Inside were time-stamped emails, side-by-side CRM logs, screen recordings showing real-time entries from my laptop, entries that matched. My reports, but not the altered versions they'd accused me with. I had everything. Harper leaned back. Her hand instinctively pulled the folder closer, like she could somehow shield herself with it. Briggs leaned forward, squinting. What is this? This, I said, tapping the screen, is the original performance data. Backed up to cloud servers. Password protected, time-stamped, and most importantly, untouched. Unlike your internal records. Briggs looked like he had just swallowed glass. Harper was trying to find an expression that made her look concerned, but not guilty. She failed. I also have correspondence from clients, dozens of them, thanking me directly for closing deals that, according to your revised numbers, I never touched. Funny how that works. Harper finally spoke, her voice not quite as calm as before. This doesn't change the fact that discrepancies exist. No. I cut in, leaning forward, voice still steady. It proves them, just not the way you hoped. I turned to Briggs. You're new, so maybe you were fed bad data. Or maybe you're just Harper's puppet. Either way, I suggest you don't sign anything else with her name on it until you've looked into this. Harper's eyes were sharp now. No more HR voice, just anger. Marcus, you're making this harder than it has to be. I picked up the termination papers, looked at the signature line, then folded them neatly and placed them back in the folder. You're right. Let's make it easy. Let's bring in compliance. I'm sure Kendra Reyes would love to take a look. Or would you prefer Gordon? From legal? Briggs's chair creaked as he shifted uncomfortably. That won't be necessary, he muttered. But his eyes were darting, like he already knew they'd lost control of the narrative. Harper stood. This isn't over, I stood too. No, it's just beginning. Then I walked out, phone in hand. Folder of lies left unopened on the table, and I didn't look back. 3:48 a.m. Those entries coincide with the removal of key clients from my list, and their reassignment to one Mason Clark. I turned toward Harper, slowly, deliberately. She didn't meet my eyes. The question becomes, I said calmly, why an HR executive had back-end access to departmental performance data, typically restricted to direct managers and analytics leads, and why, when I reviewed 5 other accounts, 5 belonging to senior female staff in strategic departments, I found the same admin login embedded in altered records, all resulting in either disciplinary actions or performance demerits. Briggs was pale. The board members exchanged glances. The temperature in the room had dropped. Harper finally spoke. Marcus, this isn't the place. It's exactly the place, I cut in. Because this isn't just about me. This is about a pattern of quiet sabotage and favoritism that's undermined this company's integrity. Briggs stammered something about pausing the meeting, but it was too late. I had already connected the dots. I brought up an email chain, Harper coaching Mason, how to speak during reviews, how to take credit without directly lying, how to reshape the language around leadership. To suit his profile, she even gave him sample lines to repeat in meetings. Then came the client transition records. Harper's initials in the approval fields, the time gaps between my communications with clients and the formal reassignment to Mason's portfolio. Mere hours. In some cases, like she'd been watching, waiting, planning. One of the board members, Evelyn Cho, leaned forward. Is this verified? I looked her in the eye. Every log is cross-referenced. I've kept redundant backups for every quarter I've worked here, every email, every call note, every report. Nothing's been